Uh, Hello, Lola.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Hi, how are you? Very good. I'm very excited.
Yes. Um, so, just for the people who don't know you, so you're the partner of Srinivas, who I interviewed twice before. And we wanted to talk a bit more about some things together. And then, yeah, we came up with the idea to involve you as well, because you teach
Thanks for
with
that.
him. And in the end we decided to just do a separate interview with you because you also had a lot of interesting stories to tell. um, so well, that's what we're doing today. I was really looking forward to this, especially because you're so both, of course, you're so knowledgeable about Buenos Aires, and you're a bit too humble, I think. But yeah, I'm again, for those who don't know you, can you maybe shortly introduce yourself to us?
Or naturally, people don't know us because we prefer to be invisible. My name is Lola Vayner. Um, I'm a tango dancer and a teacher. We live in Houston, Texas, USA. I am originally from Russia, so I grew up in Soviet Union, but I started dancing tango in the United States, in Cleveland, Ohio, back in 2004 and 5. Yeah, for me, it was quite a journey dancing tango because I was aware of the music. We grew up listening to tango music. There's Russian tango um, on the radio, on TV. And I am an orchestra conductor by my first profession. So I was conducting Piazzolla's compositions a long time ago. So I knew everything about the music, but the dance, especially the social dance, was something new for me. And as I was visiting a friend of mine in Houston, Texas, and the friend was a tango teacher and a social dancer, and he took me to the milonga, and I was surprised that people can dance so close to each other. So of course you have an image of tango, of a stage tango, or the ballroom tango, when people do all sorts of acrobatic movement, and but they are dancing very far from each other. But on the social floor, I saw people dancing chest to chest, and it immediately clicked to me. Um, I call myself close embrace freak. So I cannot live without embrace. So I need it. I need to be embraced 100 times per day. So this is why I said, oh yeah, so this dance is definitely for me. And even though I was dancing all my life previously, I was doing like little ballet, as we all, little Soviet little chicas, we would do ballet, and I was doing ballroom dancing, and then I switched to even flamenco. I tried, and I understood it's not for me because the cultural thing is not there. I saw people with Hispanic blood dancing, and I said, no, I will never, ever achieve this. But tango is, I think it's perfect. I found something really, really good that fits me very well because, first of all, um, it's a close embrace dance, and it's a dance of immigrants. And, I felt very lonely, isolated, far away from my country. And I needed some sort of communication. So I found it in tango. And I was taking classes first in Cleveland, Ohio, and then I moved to Houston, Texas. And yes, I went to the milongas, and I was trying to take classes, and because, you know, I wanted to be a good dancer. I wanted to be perfect dancer. So, you know, for some reason it didn't, you know, go well. So I was a decent dancer, but I wasn't satisfied. So, you know, sometimes you felt heavy, stiff, and I don't want it. I wanted to get rid of it. So, and some instructors that came to Houston at that time, they didn't give me anything. So, because yeah, they were leading me during the private class, and they said, nothing is wrong to you. You're a good dancer. You need to believe in yourself. That, you know, I feel heavy. I don't know, but it's okay. You need to believe in yourself. So yeah, so I quit taking classes and I just went to the milongas, and I was trying to figure out what does it mean to believe in myself. And in 2009, one very important person came into my life, and her name is Susana Miller. She's a milonguera from Buenos Aires, and she's a legend of tango. And she was the one who completely changed my dance style. And so because of her, I understood, so believe in yourself is like a BS. So it's the wrong thing. So it's just, you need to work on your body. You need to work on your eyes, put your eyes forward, and you need to be light. So, and she taught me how, and she made a dancer as I am now out of me. So I have some pictures of my maestra, Susana Miller, on my Facebook. I would like to share with
Yeah,
you.
I need to give you permission here.
Yes, please.
Yeah, now you can.
Where do you go? You share screen. Yeah. Yeah, can you?
Yes, I can see it, yes.
So, yeah, so Susana, me and Srini, my partner, so we're teaching in Houston, and we were hosting Susana for many years. And she is coming next month. She's back after pandemic, thanks God. And Susana became a role model for me, because I want to dance all my life, and I see what the older woman can be, ageless and absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, absolutely light in tango, and absolutely desirable. When I went to Buenos Aires, and I saw Susana Miller coming to the dance floor, and I saw all the big shots, all the big milongueros, they literally lined up to dance with her. So this is very important for me. So I want to be like that when I will be 60, 70, 80, 100. So yeah, this is very, very important for me. So after Susana made a pretty good dancer, so she worked out my body. So I decided to go to Buenos Aires, and it was 2011. It was my first time, and I had courage to go. And I already knew some things about milongas in Buenos Aires. I knew some tango personalities, and thanks to Jenny's Canyon and her blog, Tango or Tango Chamucho. So she was guided foreigners through the milongas of Buenos Aires, and she showed the faces of milongueras in milongueros. So because of her, I was able to recognize faces and dance with those amazing people. And also I would like to mention Monica Paz in her project Tracti Milonguero, which also, showed us the unique style of dancing of the old guard, of old milongueros, and it was really priceless. So here am I in 2011. I'm sitting my first milonga in Lo de Celia in Umberto Primo. I'm sitting on the third row, and I'm sitting 1 hour. I'm sitting 1 hour and a half, and I was thinking, and I'm really enjoying what I see. But, like no one is inviting me, because of course I know you need to be seen. You need to be, you have to have friends. So someone needs to take the first step and invite a known foreigner to the dance floor, and then you will be in chocolate. So I was very lucky. So the first person who danced with me in Buenos Aires was Pedro Sanchez, a famous dancer, one of the best dancers and teachers in Buenos Aires. Amazing person who has courage to dance with foreigners. And he really enjoys dancing with new dances. And because of Pedro, I was visible, and people started dancing with me, and Pedro became my very dear friend and my teacher, and a part of a family, of my tango family. So let's say, if Susana Miller is my tango mother, so I consider Pedro Sanchez as my tango father. So I was discovering several milongas in 2011. So one milonga I already mentioned, it was Lo de Celia. Celia Blanca was still alive, and the milonga was packed, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I met a lot of wonderful people who danced with me
Right, this
in
is
the
all
very beginning.
The first visit. You're still talking
The
about
very
okay,
yes,
yeah, okay.
first visit. So, and so these are some people, people who know, who went to milongas of Buenos Aires. They can recognize these faces. This is Maestro Jorge Uzunian. This is Luis Maldonado. So these are people who danced with me from the very, very first day. And we are still connected, and we're still friends. And, we're connected on Facebook, and once in a while we check in on each other.
Sorry, are these photos all also from the first trip, or are they from
Yeah,
later?
so these are my photos that, maybe they were taken later, but I want to show you the faces.
Yeah, understand.
So yes, I'm a photographer by my second profession. So
nice.
I was, so first when I used to take my big camera, my big Nikon camera to milongas. So I'm taking pictures of people. So these are people who danced with me from the very, very first day. So I also discovered Milonga El Maipú. It was back those days, it was in La Nacional, the beautiful, absolutely beautiful Italian Cultural Center. So, and I missed a lot of afternoon milongas in the very first year because I came with my daughter who was 1 year old. So I wasn't able to go to afternoon milongas, so I need to take care of the baby. And we found a nanny for her. And so I was attending mostly the night milongas and coming back. So the second year in 2012, so I started, so we came along. So I came without my daughter and I went to afternoon milongas, and the best of those, of course, it was Alarranque. Alarranque milonga organized by Juan Carlos Lafalce. It was in the center of Buenos Aires, in Callao y Corrientes, in the place Nueva Salón, Argentina. So this is the picture of, I think, Thursday afternoon milonga. It was totally packed. So it became my second home after Lo de Celia. I was totally amazed. So I met so many people who became very, very close friends of mine. So, for instance, this gentleman, no one knows this guy. So he's a very, very old guy. His name is Tirsi Provenzano. He told me he was a friend of Don Carlo Di Sarli. And Maestro Di Sarli died in 1961. And I said, Don Tirsi, how old are you? And he said, I'm 78. And I said, oh, no. And he said, okay, I'm 63. And I said, stop that. So this is why, how milongueros are flirting with you. And it's absolutely charming. So they teach you how to behave in the milonga. So I always say that milonga is a jungle, but at the same time, milonga is a school. Milonga teaches you a lot of things: how to behave, how to sit, how to watch, how to accept cabaseo, how to talk. Even though my first years I knew this much of Spanish, I was able to communicate with people just by, I don't know, body language, or just by embrace.
Did some of them speak English as well, or not?
Most of the people don't speak English.
Okay.
And it's fine. Of course, the senior like this, who is probably 95 years old, so, they don't. But, tango language is universal. You can speak tango perfectly if you have an embrace and you dance who you are, and you don't lie, and you don't lie on the dance floor. This is what milongas in Buenos Aires taught me. You have to be sincere.
Is it also the case that you naturally picked up Spanish while you were being there, or
not really?
okay.
No, I was learning, so I bought some CDs, or just everything is available on YouTube now. So this is the scene from Alarranque. So you see how people dance, how they communicate, and how they sit at the tables and look at each other. So these are people I dance with, and I still do. And also, so here is the scene of the milonga in Maipú, also in La Nacional, in 2012. So this is Lo de Celia.
Yeah.
This is milonguera Paula Nereo, who became a very dear friend of mine. These are people dancing samba. So I was very lucky to dance with this gentleman, Roberto Segara. By that time, he was the oldest tango dancer. He was in his 90s. He was like 94, 95, 96. So unfortunately, he passed away when he was 98. But, he was roughly 100 years. And he was an amazing dancer. And the way he danced with you, the way he flirted with you, it was just fantastic. You immediately you feel younger, you feel absolutely happy. So he used to tell me, "You still very tall." Todavía muy alta. So what happened to me? I'm still tall, because he's a petite grandfather, So, and he said, if I knew that you come to the milonga, I would, wear like higher heels and a hat. So if I knew that you're coming. So I was totally, I think I was very privileged to dance with the legend of tango, Roberto Sigara. So these are also people whom I dance with. And this is a scene in El Maipo Milonga, in Obelisco.
So this is later. Is this also in 2012?
This is a little bit later,
okay,
yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was on those days when they started dancing chacarera and samba in the milonga.
Yeah, this is Lola Celia again.
This is Lola Celia again, and this is my friend.
So I hope it's not an offensive question, but I always thought that, for example, the level at afternoon salons was a bit lower than in these evening salons like Lola Celia or El Maipo. But you said that you really loved El Arranque as a second home.
Absolutely, yes.
But for you, there's not a real difference between.
For me, it's important. So it's important to dance. I have to dance, right? So if you come to the milonga and dance nonstop, and you're coming the next day and it'll be the same. So this is where you want to be. I wouldn't say, I will tell this story, so I won't pronounce names. So the very good friend of ours, a very good teacher in Buenos Aires, brought her students from Sweden or Norway to Alaranque. And she said, I want them to experience the worst milonga first, and then I will take them to the upscale milongas. And I was shocked because I said, for me, it's the best milonga. And then it was her turn to be shocked. So it depends. Tango is very
personal. Do you mean something like that?
Personal. Yeah. It's very subjective.
Yes. And I would say, by the way, I'm not saying the same as this lady, because I've experienced some places that are in the same venues, like milongas that are in the same venues with a totally different audience and a much lower level, and that's incomparable to somewhere like Lola Celia or El Maipo and even El Arranque. So it's not as if I was more saying it in general. Like I feel like as a general thing that the evening milongas have a higher dance level in this traditional scene than the afternoon ones, but apparently you don't really recognize that for El Arranque, right? Like you like it as much as the other ones, I would say.
I loved it. And you feel like you're coming home. So sometimes you dance with good dancers and you really enjoyed it, but sometimes you dance with like amazing dancers and you cannot say them because they're invisible. And watching people dancing and feeling them dancing, it's different. So
Yeah.
when you dance with someone who is like absolutely great, you feel like this guy. You feel like you're coming home. So I have this. So of course those two gentlemen are legends of tango, and I have a story about Antonio Cejas dancing with me. He was dancing with me in Lo de Celia in my early visits, and very last time he danced with me in 2019 in Niño Bien, and he was very sick by that time. But he always talked to me I think he was just not really talking to the woman. He was making statements. But he was dancing with me, and then in the very end of the dance, he said there were several dances in the past century, so it's like the 20th century, and you dance like them.
Yeah, that's a pretty
And
big compliment.
yeah, it brought me to tears because it's receiving a compliment from milonguero like that. It's priceless.
Yes.
I don't really, I don't like, the people are, say, oh yeah, you dance good. It's okay, you dance good. But sometimes they say something that, really touch you. The best compliment you receive is like you dance like porteña. Are you from Buenos Aires? No, I'm from Russia. No. Oh, really? So they're surprised. And, for them, it's very important if someone from outside of Buenos Aires speaks the same tango language. It means like you embrace and they feel it. They can feel your dance level just by your embrace. And I think it's very, very important. So these are also my friends from Buenos Aires. I miss my friends so much. And unfortunately, I haven't been in Buenos Aires for 3 years now because of pandemic and all this stuff. And I don't know when I'm coming back, but I still hope. I still watch videos from
Sorry if I'm
my
being
milongas.
sorry if I'm being too direct, but do you have like any plans or like any perspective of when you want to go back?
No,
Or
I
okay,
don't have any perspective.
okay.
Unfortunately, no. But see, I'm still dreaming about it because I cannot live without it. This is my tango pill. So I used to take this pill once a year, right? So you dance, you live somewhere, I see in Houston, Texas. Yeah, you go to the milongas, you dance with people, but you cannot get anything you get in Buenos Aires. If you travel to Europe, you travel to other cities in United States, there is nothing. It's just it's a general level, but once you're in Buenos Aires, you have 100% of fun.
But
You have
I guess
100% of tango.
yeah, but I guess that also has to do with the culture, like the whole thing around it, right? Did you feel at home like that it's not just literally about dancing, but the environment of the milongas and maybe even the language or something like?
It's everything, yes.
Yeah.
But mostly the way they dance, the
Okay.
way they embrace, the way they appreciate women.
Okay.
And of course, if the way they play the music,
You mean the DJs or the
DJs.
Yeah, okay, like that, to play music like that, yeah. But sorry, sometimes I might ask questions that are a bit
Please do that.
offensive or risky, but
Do it.
I often hear that like this certain generation is dying out. Well, I don't hear it. I don't just hear it. I mean, it happens. But do you have the same feeling also with maybe a slightly younger generation, or is it only with these milongueros?
No, of course, the old milongueros, they have their own style, and as they leave us, their style leave us also. But there are people like us, people of young generation who are able to pick up, able to learn from old milongueros and pick up their style and transfer to our students. And I believe tango milonguero will never die, because there are people of younger generation and they bring a lot of energy to the tango scene. For instance, the amazing dancer and the organizer of Lodeselia Milongas right now, Jonathan Rojas.
Yes. That's a good example. Yes.
Who already became a legend, a living legend of tango, just because he revived this milonga after Celia Blanco's death. He is an amazing dancer himself, and he is deeply connected to all generation, and all generations really, really appreciate him. There are people in Academia de Tango of Susana Miller and Maria Plazaola, who are learning particularly this dance, this style of milonguero.
Yeah.
And they are bringing this flavor to milongas. And of course, there are people, even in local people in Buenos Aires, who are getting to know their own legacy, their own culture. I was surprised that sometimes people who dance with me, they started dancing 10 years ago, 12 years ago. So like
Argentines, you mean?
15 years ago, yes.
Argentines.
Argentinian people, yeah.
Okay.
And also, before I was shocked when someone told me that only 3% of Argentinian population dance tango.
Well, that's actually quite much. Like, I think it's probably much less, but yeah, I mean, the point is still the same, right? Like it's
yes.
just not a lot of people.
And when people in Argentina, even very intelligent people, they ask me questions. Why tango? ¿Por qué tango? And I really, I have a very long and very offensive, answer to that, because why not? People do kung fu, they do yoga, they do all sort of martial arts, and tango is something alien that only people in Buenos Aires can dance. No, but I usually say because I like the music, because I love the embrace, I like Buenos Aires, and just trying to be very polite.
Sorry, who are these people who asked them? I suppose non-dancers, just random
the
people.
The dancers.
Oh, the dancers.
Yes,
You mean the
dancers?
Okay.
Yes, and also I have this like reverse question to them. If you have children, do you teach your children tango? Usually it's not. And so this is why tango. So You know, I know the right answer to this question, because we are here in this world to be part of it and to preserve your tango. How do they say nuestro tango? So we preserve your tango for the world. We do it because we can do it very well, and we enjoy it as much as you do, my people of Buenos Aires. This is how we cannot live without tango. And so this is how we trying to make it a little bit more bigger. So I forgot to mention, so I found this picture finally. So we are reversing to 2012. So in this picture, you see two old milongueros. This is Ismael El Halil. His nickname was El Tigre. And this is Ruben de Pompeya, Ruben Harimbat, amazing dancers. I was absolutely privileged and honored to dance with both of them in 2012, also in Milonga El Maipú, in Casa de Galicia. So this was dancing with Ruben Harimbat was my highlight of my journey. So like the keynote, can you imagine you are nobody as a dancer, you were a young foreigner sitting in the crowd, and the king of the milonga danced vals, milonga, and tango in the same milonga 3 times with you. And this was I think it was like the highlight of my tango life.
Yes,
You know,
okay.
dancing with an amazing dancer. And you know, we didn't talk much because I knew a little bit of Spanish, and we just danced. And it was the first and last year I danced with Ruben, because in 2011 he was not there in the tango scene. I think he was sick, and after that in the next year he had Alzheimer's, and the next year he passed away. And I never seen him, and I never danced with him, but you know, this is a very precious memory that I have. And yes, so the same dancing with Ismael, who is a very unique dancer, and who is a real tiger of the milonga, who is, you know, wandering the jungles and without touching anyone. And actually, you know, now we are teaching our students, we're teaching Ismael's style. So we started teaching the particular styles of particular milongueros. We teach Ismael's style, we teach Pedro Sanchez's style, and many more. So I'm trying to find this picture. I want to talk about the cultural aspect a little bit. Sorry,
yeah, very nice photos.
Yes, so this is this picture. So these are carteris, Ovaldo y Coca carteris in the milonga. I think it was a little very cute milonga in Montserrat area. Flor de Montserrat, that was the name of the milonga back in 2012. So as you see people like a very old age, they are the gentleman is taking his partner on his knees. So this was my cultural shock. So I saw this scene earlier in the streets of Buenos Aires. I think in San Telmo, some artists were also sitting like that, old people. And this was really, a shock for me, because I grew up in the culture when this won't be possible. So, I grew up in the culture when the woman is 40, she's old. And when a woman is 50, forget about it. And after that, you're just dead. You're invisible and you're just dead. You need to just, sit quietly and, wait until your time comes. And over here, I see this, people in their 70s and 80s putting their wives on, their loved ones on their lap. Wow. So it told me a lot. So this culture, like the Latin American culture, the Buenos Aires culture, it's ageless. So there is no age, and I really like it. And you also feel it in the milonga. It doesn't matter. The age is nothing. No one, calculates how old are you. You just embrace your fathers, your brothers, your grandfathers, and you dance with them. And I really like it. I wanted to be a part of this culture. When people treat you like a woman on the dance floor, even on the street, they look at you. People just, random guys walking down the street, and they really look at you. When I came to United States in 2003, I noticed that, the guys don't look at you. They don't stare. Usually there's like a conversation, non-verbal conversation in between men and women. They don't look at you. And I was thinking, what's wrong with me? I'm still young, and and yeah, so I get used to it. But in Buenos Aires, I got something that I wanted. People look at you and they see a woman in you, not an object, moving down the street, but they see the woman, and the way they look at you at the milongas, the way they invite you, it's absolutely great. This is one more thing that I really like about Buenos Aires and about Argentina and about tango. Those little cultural things and tango, they are deeply connected.
Yes.
People use their eyes in general. You sit in the cafe in Buenos Aires, you don't have to, like shout at the waiter. They keep an eye on you and on the other customers, and you just look and they see you. The way they look eyes, it's beautiful. And at the same time, they use their eyes in the milonga.
Do women also do that like among each other? I mean, not in the same way, but more like socially, like on the streets, that they observe you, or like
people absolutely, they
Okay.
absorb, they stare at you, and there is nothing wrong about it.
Yeah.
Because it's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
No
Yep.
one will call police after that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a part of the game.
Yeah. People often don't realize how these things are so deeply ingrained in different cultures. For example, if you would live in Argentina all your life and never travel abroad, maybe you don't even realize that life can be different elsewhere. But you were an immigrant, and then you went to another place, not as an immigrant, but as a traveler, and then you noticed all these differences again. I mean, that must be a very interesting perspective.
Um, and also I want to mention this thing that tango is a game. I think there's this wonderful book of, I think it's a Dutch author, Jossen Huizinga. Huizinga wrote this book, so the Homo Ludens. So when he's telling us that whatever we do in our life, even very serious things like, involving the war or, the court system, actually it's a game. So we are playing games, like different games, little games, bigger games, but it's like that. Whatever we do in any human activity is a game. So, and you need to, over here in tango, you need to understand the rules of the game. You have to be very good at it, and you win.
You mean good at the game, or
at the game? You need to
yeah.
good at
But
behaving in the milonga.
Yeah. So you don't only mean like the dance level, but you mean other things as well.
Everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Even the things that, as a foreigners, sometimes we experience that that the locals try to offend you and try to, play their games with you. So you have to stand, for yourself. You need to know how to do that. And you need to know how to do it in a very playful and very elegant way. So you want, offense the other person. So you will talk and then you let it go.
You mean it's a way to be respected?
Well, yes.
Yeah, because people often say respect is something you don't simply get. Like you have to win it. You have to.
But it's very easy when you know how to play the game.
Okay, yeah, that helps. Yeah. And what is an example of that, of knowing how to play the game? I mean, it's maybe a bit of an obvious question, but
I have this story. So I danced with this guy in Lodeselia, and he's very well-known dancer. So he danced with me once, he danced with me twice, he danced with me third times, and I know, like, you dance more than 2 times. And then, yeah, we talk something about the like Russian culture and literature and something, and then all of a sudden you say, okay, you want to have coffee with me? And of course we know what coffee. And instead of like freaking out and saying just so I told him that I don't drink coffee with men, with the guys. And he was like, that's it. So this is the point when he stopped and he started thinking, and that's it. So it's just over. It was very funny. So I stopped him in a very elegant way and very, peculiar way.
What?
In a very funny way.
Okay.
But that's it. So you have to play.
Yes. That's also what makes it exciting, I guess, that it's a game.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful game. I mean, like and the more you and you will earn your level like in the computer games, right? So like each year, so you earn the level, and then you
in a computer game. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is, sometimes you feel it like that. You feel you come to the dance floor and you see 30 people that you want to dance with, and you have only 6 hours. And
you're specifically talking about Buenos Aires, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because in outside of Buenos Aires, I don't dance much.
Okay.
There is no one to dance with.
Okay.
Usually, I dance once or twice, or I dance with women. Which is kind of, because
you mean leading, or
Yeah, I'm leading. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like the
okay.
music. When I like the music, you want to dance. There is no one to dance with. Just you.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
dance with chicas. But in Buenos Aires, I
Yeah.
prefer dancing with in the traditional milongas. I There were like couple or 3 years I was going to queer milongas just to dance with women, and it was just to explore this part of tango.
Yes.
Um, I wouldn't say I was satisfied because the level of dancing was very low,
Yeah.
and yeah, I just stopped doing that. Usually I stay in Buenos Aires only 3 weeks, and it's not enough. And during the day, as a photographer, I explore a city, go
Mm.
barrios, take pictures, and it's just occupy my afternoon. And then I need to be ready, and it's 3 or 4 o'clock for 4:40. So I need to be in the afternoon milonga. Then I go to the night milonga. So
So how many hours is that in total, generally? That's a
dancing.
yeah, it's a pretty long day, right? Um,
Well, yes. Yeah,
like
if you
eight
start
hours or
dancing
something,
at
nine, 10?
4 and you stop at 2, well,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
do your
okay,
math.
yeah, 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 yeah. And that is still usually at Lola and similar places, I suppose.
Similar places.
Yeah,
So
that's
my
your thing.
to the list of my afternoon milongas, I added Milonga Nuevo Chique in Casa de Galicia, organized by Marcela Pasos. It's a beautiful milonga, beautiful afternoon milonga. And I'm glad my favorite milongas are back. So right now, Milonga El Maipú is split into 2 milongas. So one in Milonga de Lucy in Grisel on Monday night. It's beautiful, and another milonga of the other organizer, Dani Rodriguez, is in on Tuesday in I think it's in Lo de Celia. So these are milongas I want to attend when I come back to Buenos Aires. And of course, you cannot beat milongas in Lo de Celia, which are like these barajando milongas organized by Jonathan Rojas. He's also organizing Milonga Remembranza in Lo de Celia on Friday night.
Yes.
So yeah. So usually when I plan to go to Buenos Aires, I go to this. Obviously, everyone go to the Oi Milonga website. We see what's there, and then we plan it, arrange it day by day. Yeah. So
Sorry, what did he say?
no, it's not me.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so can you tell me a bit more about well, maybe an interesting, I don't know what you wanted to say yourself, but like I'm interested in whether there were changes through the years, like in your experience.
I would say one thing. So a part of my tango journey and a part of me being accepted in the milongas of Buenos Aires was the fact that I'm from Russia. Those days, Argentina was one of the few countries when they still appreciate Russian cultures. But right now, it's just horrible. I don't want to. I don't know. We So the Russia is invading Ukraine, and it's a horrible war. And we all, people of a goodwill, we're all ashamed of it. And we cannot, unfortunately, we cannot do anything without it. But, we also, that is our shame. People, they hate us. they start hating us more, and I don't really like it. This is really bothering me, and I'm sincerely hoping that this ugly war will end very soon, and we'll be brothers again, and we will dance. Russians and Ukrainians will dance with each other again, and everything will be much better. Yeah, I pray every day for this, because you cannot deny those facts that I talk to people in Buenos Aires, and they share their experience visiting Russia. For instance, the dancer is on my picture. His nickname is El Indio. Everyone knows. He's a famous dancer who is Pedro is his name also. He is organizing this street milonga in San Telmo for more than 30 years. And he told me about his experience. He was invited to Bolshoi Theater, like in the very early 2000, to perform tango with the big shots of Bolshoi, with Liepa dancers, with Indre Liepa, Ilse Liepa, sorry, and Andris Liepa. So this is his portraits. This gentleman, Jesus Mela, he's a very good dancer, amazing dancer, and he's an MC for tango orchestras, and his father was an AMC for several orchestras in Buenos Aires, including Osvaldo Pugliese's orchestra. And Jesus told me, I remember my parents brought me to Moscow when I was 7 years old. So, and he said, I remember Red Square, I remember traveling, it was beautiful. And I made the research. And so apparently Osvaldo Pugliese's orchestra was traveling in 70s, I think it was like 70s, late 60s. They were traveling to Soviet Union, not only in Moscow and Leningrad, but in Georgia, in Tbilisi, in Armenia. So these are little things that connect you to people even more. And some people, they just share that they were visiting Soviet Union, or they had Russian or Ukrainian or Jewish roots. So their grandparents and parents were descendants from Soviet Union. This is how we connect.
Yeah, that's great.
If I am from some other country, maybe I would find something else. But this is my experience. I really like this sort of connections, or just a dance with this huge guy in Obelisco, and he said, "Where are you from?" And I said, "I'm Russian." And he said, "And I am Ukrainian," he said. But he's a porteño, he lives in Buenos Aires. He said, "My name is Mikola." And I said, "Wow." It's like, so I haven't seen him for several years. So it was like last one time I danced with him, amazing dancer, unknown, has Ukrainian roots.
Yeah, that's great.
And it's just, great. I love these stories.
Yeah. Do you have any more like those, maybe? Or
yes, a very dear friend of mine. Unfortunately, I don't have her picture over here. So she used to live in Soviet Union because of her husband, who was a diplomatic in a diplomatic mission. So, and I met one gentleman in Alaranque who said he was living like for half a year and he was working in the port of Leningrad because he was a marine engineer.
Hmm.
And there are some things, some people that say, I'm a communist. And I was like, oops, and, this is, it's not, what I like, but somehow they, they think that, Soviet Union and communism are connected, but, we are, thanks God, we work and we lived in the times that, communism was collapsing and everything. So, and I hope the current regime will collapse very soon.
Yeah, but it's about the cultural connection, right? I mean, that's
Cultural connection, of course. People know. I have several friends who are artists, and every time I go to San Telmo, I just stop by and chat with them. They really appreciate Russian literature and movies. So I have this guy, his nickname is Tarkovsky because he's totally in love with Andrei Tarkovsky's movies. This is how we connect.
Did you give him the nickname or someone else?
No, I
Okay.
That's my
funny.
Tarkovsky. Yeah, I also want to say some things about friends of mine. So this gentleman on the picture, his name is Antonio Iori, also an amazing dancer, one of the best dancers of Milonga Contraspier. Also very like almost invisible in the scene of Buenos Aires. So when I'm in Buenos Aires, I am searching for the milongas where he would go, just to dance with him. Sometimes, so this is like we were talking about the level of your game. So this is in a certain level, you come to the milonga and you feel like dancing only with one person, maybe with two person. And then you're totally satisfied and you win the first prize and you go home. The same happened with the local people. Once they see our posts on the Facebook, right? So we're like, oh, we do that. Yeah, we're in Buenos Aires, something like this. So we posted. And then our friends like, where do you go? What milongas do you go tomorrow? That's it. So they will search for you.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just, so you come to the certain milonga. Sometimes you don't know this milonga. It's a new milonga, but you know that your friend will be here. And you're here to dance only with your friend. And your friend can dance 4 tandas with you. And it's nothing, it's not, nothing wrong about it because they're friends. Maybe it's just, he saved this time just to come to this milonga and to dance with you. Maybe he won't have much time. It's beautiful. So it's also a part of a game. I remember, so you wanted to ask me why, how do I see my tango future?
Yes. Yes.
So I want to.
It's a pretty relevant question to this, right?
I want to, yes, I want to say it. So I'm this weird person who wants to live 100 years. And I know I can do that. And I was trying to find something that I can do until the rest of my days. And tango is this thing. And I can do it very well. It's maybe the only thing that I can do well in my pretty miserable life. But this is what I see. I see these beautiful women in the 70s and 80s dressed up like queens and danced like queens. and I see, so there is future for me. I won't be old because tango is ageless, and I will be there when I'm 60, when I'm 80, when I'm 100, like Carmencita Calderon. She was 100 years old and she was dancing tango beautifully. So I want to do that. And I also, as a teacher, I want to um, transfer this message to my students. So these are it's a beautiful dance that you can dance forever, which keeps you younger, lighter, happier. This is what I strongly believe in.
Yes, yes. But then, like, there's also something like I was saying that there's always this generation who dies pretty much. And well, when you are older, maybe they won't exist anymore. So how do you think that is going to continue? Because I suppose you'll be traveling to Buenos Aires as long as you can. But will there be a Buenos Aires for you? I mean, that's sorry, a bit of a confronting question, but that's the problem, I think, of Tango Buenos Aires. It's also yeah.
In Russia, we have this sentence that the sacred place will never be empty. So as we see, even after pandemic, some people are gone, but some people come to the milongas out of nowhere. You haven't seen them for like in 5 years ago, 10 years ago, they were not here. They start coming and they are relatively young. So our Mecca, Buenos Aires, our Mecca in tango will never be empty because this is the balance that I think the universe keeps this balance. Of course, the old generation will go, but it won't be like you come to the milonga in 10 years, there will be only 10 people in the milonga. No, the milongas will be packed. People will dance in the close embrace, and the people who stopped dancing maybe 30 years ago or 20 years ago and thinking, it's okay, they will come back to the milongas. This is what we feel. We feel that, it's still so that the soup is still boiling and it's always enough ingredients in the soup.
Okay, but also for you, because I cannot really tell because I'm not a woman, but I mean, you're used to a certain level of some people who have passed away, and then I mean, what happens next? Do you still find satisfaction in the people who come after that?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Like I find it hard to imagine as a man, but
well, yes, people of my generation, it's just, what we're talking about, like people in their 40s and 50s. They also, dance, and they dance very well. You need to know where to go, where to find them.
So you're confident about
Totally.
So your capacity to really keep feeling the special feeling.
Yes, and also, as teachers, we also trying to produce dancers who will dance in the same style, literally who speak the same language. So this is why, so when this is how they accept you. They accept you there in the Milongas and Buenos Aires because you speak the same tango language.
Yeah.
This is when we want our students to dance this way, and when they travel into Buenos Aires, they will speak the same language with the local people, and and both parties will have fun.
Yeah.
They will be happy.
So they'll fit in.
Absolutely.
So do you have any other photo to show? Because you were
I think I'm
scrolling.
just, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
just
okay.
going around. But so I want to mention that the tango for me is very, very important, and it's just, for me, it's just love. This, it's just never lasting love that you get for free, without, without anything else. So you'll see people are dancing and they're communicating and they're totally happy.
Yes.
They never fight on the dance floor. I mean, like as a dancer. So it's just that they share their feelings, their embrace, their vibes, and they just produce enormous love towards each other.
Yes. Yes.
And it's beautiful. This is what we need.
Yes.
I think if more people will dance tango, the world will be a different place.
Yes. Yes.
It's the way to meditate, is the way to talk peacefully to another person. It's the way to listen to another person. It's the way to listen to great music and appreciate it, to vibrate with the music. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yes. And that's what keeps you hooked, right?
Yes.
Yes. So just saying, because we're nearing the end of the interview, is there anything else you want to say by yourself? I always have questions left, of course, but I was wondering if you have anything to say, maybe one interesting anecdote about the things you mentioned, about the people you mentioned, something like that.
Oh, we have a lot of stories. One day I will make a short movie. So
Short movie. Okay,
if
okay,
I
nice.
would be a Woody Allen, it will be just perfect for him. So we have funny stories, but yeah, they're too funny.
Okay,
We
okay,
just, we observe people in the milongas, how they behave, how they exit the milonga, how they enter the milonga.
okay.
It's totally, it's very interesting, fascinating.
Yes, yes. Can you maybe just ask a short question that I tried asking before? You probably already answered it in part, but like how this appreciation evolved over time. Like when you compared like your first few visits and your later visits, like is there anything that stands out in I think you mentioned this a bit, but I can't remember what exactly you highlighted, but
I would say I feel more connected and I feel more local.
okay.
So throughout the years, I'm trying to adjust my life in Buenos Aires more mm, more to a level of a local people. I
Ah,
never use taxi. I use public transportation. I usually go to the same cafes and restaurants, and people know me
nice.
for many years, and we connect. And I'm trying to visit my old friends, and I'm trying to, as a photographer, I'm trying to follow the street art um, that appears newly.
Yes.
So I'm trying to be more local. I'm trying to speak more. It's not easy, but I'm learning language. It's a very important part.
Yes. So it sounds like
because
a. No, go ahead.
yeah, people want to talk to you. So this is what actually pushed me to learn the Spanish language more. When you chat in the milonga, you have this little chamucha. It's not only small talk. People want to, know a little bit more about it. And if they know certain things, they want to know something else. So you need to be ready to continue the conversation.
Yes. Yes.
And we talk about politics.
Okay.
We talk about literature. We talk about movies.
I wanted
We
to
talk
say.
about our family. So yes.
I wanted to say que bueno.
Bueno.
Just because without even thinking it, I almost replied in Spanish. So I can imagine what that's like and how that just flows naturally. How you, because they're so social and the culture is so talkative in a way that you just want to
Yeah, and I
integrate and
remember
integrate further into that. And so what I hear in your story is like this deepening of your experience, and you can just go on the rest of your
I
life
have
like
a
that, right?
very funny story. I have a funny story that you said, an anecdote. So
Yeah, let's conclude with that.
I wanted just to say to foreigners, if you are in Buenos Aires and you think certain people don't dance with you, don't panic. They will dance with you a little bit later. So I have this story. I look at this guy. He doesn't dance with me for 1 year, for 2 years, for 3 years. Finally, he invites me to dance in Lola, and he dances with me. And after that, he said, "I was such a fool for not dancing with you all these years." And I said, "Okay, now you know." So these are the things. It's, do not expect 100% of people dancing with you because you're new. It'll take time.
Yeah.
You need to be happy, and you need to be a part of the game, as I mentioned before.
Yes. Yeah, it's a very nice way of putting it. Yeah, well, thanks for today. That was a very very charismatic view on Buenos Aires. It was very comprehensive as well. So thanks a lot for that. And well, hope to see you another time to talk about the teaching, which is of course like an extension of what both you and your partner talked about in my interviews. And I really enjoyed the focus on Buenos Aires, and to learn a bit from all your experience. And well, thanks a lot. And
thank you, Lucas.
Have a nice day.
You too. Thank you. It was wonderful. Bye.
You need to wait. No, I can do it here.